Dave?
The most amazing thing for me about Derek Jeter is how a guy, good-looking, huge star, dating all kinds of hot chicks, somehow stays out of the New York gossip columns. How does he do it? You never hear him. Oh, he's out late drinking.
Because he's a
always
clean
with this
living,
one. It's amazing.
lovely guy, setting a good example.
But I'm sure there's a lot of those in England, and somehow they still wind up in the tabloids. Jeter.
The thing about baseball players is that the smart ones don't end up with the high-profile wives, with the exception of Nomar, but he was marrying another athlete, so it was okay.
It was interesting. I did an interview for Channel 4 a number of years ago about Posh and Bakes and who was the equivalent in America, and I said Nomar Garciaparra because of Mia Hamm. Mind you, I think I said that was Dosh and Pex rather than... It was a good line, wasn't it? Right, let's get back to the action. Bottom of the... Guys, you have no idea how difficult that shot was to set up. Big Dave and Eric, what a job. 150.
No, Big Dave.
Well, hang on.
Glory Hunter.
I started it, organized everybody, then Eric jumps in and said, oh, look what a great job I did.
It's you, David, isn't it?
It's the me show.
Buddy, I've got to be honest. I was
mediocrity.
JC and I were standing there, and all we saw was Eric, just controlling the crowd like a great, and you were standing looking a little bit.
I mean, Eric was willing to go the extra effort. I thought he was going to jump in. You were just standing back, just trying to go like this.
Go on, give him the attendance. Give him the attendance quick before I get killed even more.
We'll get there in a moment. I want to talk about the kayak. I want to talk about the kayak club. You know that some of them had stickers that they are members of. That you have to have a pass to actually be down there in the first place. But on a home run derby, I mean, that was crazy. I've never seen so many boats down there.
But it thinned out very quickly. When all the lefties were gone, all the kayaks went home.
Yeah, and how many splash hits did we have?
There were 2, both of them foul. So there was not one real
splash home run.
And who won $5 on that?
Okay, I don't think we need to go there.
You're the gambling boys.
I set up the margin. I said I thought it was going to be about 8 splash hits. When you think how many lefties we had, the fact that they're free swinging,
and big slugging lefties. Come on.
Absolutely, sure. So, I mean, what odds would you have offered on there not being a single home run splash hit during the home run
I don't know.
derby?
You consider yourself a gambler, but this is the winner right here.
I'd say 80 to 100 to 1. What do you think?
Yeah. Just very aware how little he makes. I just wanted to, I'm a socialist at heart. I want to redistribute wealth.
That's very kind of you.
But you know what? If you were thinking, you would have noticed the wind, and you saw the wind before you put down that line, and the wind was blowing in from us.
Well, we talked about the fireworks, didn't we? Before the show, all the fireworks, the wind was blowing in.
Yeah.
And you didn't still set the line.
But there's the bizarre thing. When we had the fireworks in the middle of the park, the wind was clearly blowing towards home plate. But then if you looked at the flags on the walls, the wind seemed to be blowing out.
Very misleading.
How confusing is that?
But that's because it swirls here. Swirls right. The funny thing is, it's not about where the wind blows, it's also the construction of the stadium, and that always has a big effect too, because you'll have wind coming through a certain area where maybe the stands are a little lower. So it's not just the wind, it's the stadium too.
Okay, well, one of the guys in the kayak had his own TV taped to his boat. Can you go? I'm calling a kayak a boat. How inappropriate is that? You can clearly see
you're going to have some maritime people calling you up. Very upset.
Can I mention the capacity before we go back? Regular capacity here, 41,777. It goes without saying there's an awful lot more. 43,800, which includes suites and standing room only.
Does it include kayaks?
It doesn't include kayaks.
Or the freebies. Or the freebies too. Get to stand out in right field.
And the broadcasters. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So there's about 45,000 people here.
Not a bad crowd.
Not a bad crowd
Solid.
at all. And that's why it's so exciting. Well, now, Dave, we're going to lose you. This is your last little segment here in the program, so we can finally get to sit down again, which is the upside.
Yes.
Why are you leaving us so early?
I have a plane to catch. I have to go back to Brooklyn. I've got to work in the morning. So
but we're not losing you from the family, of course. We are going to see you again later this season.
Certainly not. I hope to be at the World Series.
You do. But before that, there's a big event in your life. You're getting hitched.
Yes. I am getting hitched. That's
fantastic, buddy.
September 1st, on the Labor Day weekend, I will be getting married to Michelle.
I can't imagine how many women are watching this program right now that are absolutely gutted and just beside themselves.
Do negative numbers count?
There are negative numbers. My math is bad. That's why I went into this.
The lovely Michelle. She finally said yes.
Making an honest woman of her.
Now, will you become a kept man just like Johnny Gould?
Oh, absolutely.
Get over. What do you mean a kept man?
Oh,
Extraordinary. No, she's a lovely girl.
Marrying into money is just fantastic, isn't it?
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we wish you the very best with that,
Thank
buddy,
you, thank you.
and a safe journey.
And it was great to be in San Francisco. You guys had a great time.
Such a pleasure, Dave.
They had a ball.
Such a pleasure.
Messing around in the car, having some fun.
And Eric's chuffed a bit. Finally gets his room back. So it's an up for everybody. Win-win.
There will be significantly less pollution in Eric's room tonight, without question.
Big Dave, as always, a much-loved member of the family. Thanks for being with us,
Thanks,
Big Dave.
David.
Thanks, guys.
Really
All
enjoyed
right.
it.
Thank you very much.
Back to the game, bottom of the seventh.
The second.
So how about that? Johan Santana coming in at the bottom of the seventh. That's pretty tough if you're a hitter. Okay, let's hear one last time some views of Major League Baseball players.
When you got your first big paycheck, when you finally made it to the major leagues, what was your first big extravagance? Did you go crazy and buy something special?
No, I don't get crazy, no. Because by that time I just got my first check, I can't go crazy, I just put it in the bank and go from there.
I mean, I don't think I've gotten the big paychecks like some of these other guys, but I think my first check when I signed to play baseball when I got drafted, I went and got a car was the first thing I got.
What did you get?
Yukon Denali.
Yeah, I bought a ski boat, a bass ski combo boat. I like fishing in the off season, so I got to fish a little bit in the off season. I kept it 2 or 3 years, and I got tired of carrying it back and forth to cities, so I finally sold it.
I think I put it in the bank. Mom taught us well to, maybe over-taught us, but take care of every cent you get and put it in the bank.
Well, when I was drafted in 1993, I bought a black Ford Explorer, which I thought was the best car.
I bought a house.
Not that watch?
No, not that watch. No, it was
awesome.
It was a house. You like it?
Fantastic.
Thanks. Yeah, a house, because I figured this just cars and this, they don't gonna get you anywhere, but in the house and the property, you're not gonna lose your money.
How about that watch? Albert Pujols, that was remember seeing that? That
Oh
was
my gosh, that watch.
extraordinary. Well, there you go. We've got a house, we've got a speedboat, we've got a couple of cars with their first big paycheck. What about you, Jason? You play professional baseball. What did you do? Did you go crazy?
I think with my Frontier League check, I bought a couple pizzas, but I did make a Xerox copy of the check so I could show people what really happened. When I played in Sweden, though, I got a signing bonus, and I bought Jen, my wife, a Costa Boda little Voda folder. That was as much as I could afford. Hey, it was nice
You
blue
spoil
glass.
that
It was
woman.
blue glass.
Oh, don't
It's
get
good
me wrong.
stuff.
I mean, it's the thought that counts. That's what
That's
they
all I
always
had
say.
was a thought.
There's a great story as well about Jackie Charlton when he was the manager of the Republic of Ireland football team. They absolutely loved him to bits. Used to go into bars, pay for a round of drinks with a check deliberately because no one would ever cash them. They all got framed, put up in the bar, and apparently if they were all cashed today,
Yeah.
he'd be bankrupt.
Oh, that's
There are that many
hilarious.
out in circulation.
That is great.
I think he may have paid by check deliberately, that's for sure. But great stories there. I mean, you think, though, you should stress, though, when you do get your first big Major League Baseball check, presumably it's not that big compared to the big money they're on now.
Well, if you're drafted very high, you're drafted first, second round, you're going to get a huge signing bonus.
Right.
I mean, you could make millions of
Oh,
dollars
really?
on that. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But when you do make it to the major leagues, that's usually the minimum, and that's still a lot of money, 6 figures.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of the stats about Ryan Howard. It was something like 900,000. Still not that much, really, for a guy.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
Well,
I know that's what you're on, but I'm not.
Okay, Billy Wagner's on the mound. Let's rejoin the action.
Regular season, the All-Star game, the history that he has, all of it in a year where he's looking as to whether or not he will stay in Seattle come the end of the season. If he doesn't, he can drive away in the vehicle he's going to win. Waiting to receive the award.
You know, just all of the things that he does. I mean, that's the complete player. He can steal a base. Terrific defensively, the strong arm. And yet when you need some power, I mean, watching him in batting practice, he consistently is able to do this.
Pepsi play of the game.
Here it is. They don't talk about his power very often. This is a big ballpark, halfway up the wall in right center. And then with the carom away from Ken Griffey Jr., he turns on the speed. Not only an inside the park home run, but he did it standing up.
The first inside the park home run ever for him, and the first ever in All-Star game history.
To the break here, and maybe you can use this home field advantage.
ホームフィールドアドバンテージがワールドシリーズであるかもしれません。
そうですね、久しぶりにその可能性が出てきましたから、後半戦頑張りたいと思いますし、今日の思い出がまたサンフランシスコ、僕 サンフランシスコをすごく今日の思い出が好きにさせてくれました。ありがとうございます。
Yes, I hope so. It's the first time that our organization has been able to feel that way for a while, and now I have a great memory and a great memory of the city of San Francisco.
Thank you so much. He loves you, San Francisco. He can hit home runs, and he's going to be a free agent. Joe, back to you.
And there you have it, the MVP of the 78th All-Star Game, Ichiro Suzuki. No questions about it. Steve Coe from Somerset emailed in. He tipped it up beforehand, did say the result would determine it at the end of the day. And he got close. What a thrilling finish, Joe.
It was a great ending. If you're a National League fan, though, you got to feel teased. This is the second time in 3 years that the National League stormed back at the end of the game. If you remember 2005, they went down 7-0. They scored 5 runs in the last 3 innings, but couldn't put it together. You got to feel for the National League because they really battled. But you also have to wonder, why didn't Tony La Russa make a substitution at the end of the game? Albert Pujols on the bench. You wonder if he's not feeling well because you might have pinch hit him either for Hudson. I mean, I kind of understand in that situation, okay, a single gets the run in, but then at least with Rome, this has been great. It's been great. The ending was so much fun. I love seeing Alfonso Soriano go opposite field. He's got one of the heaviest bats in baseball. He whips it. He's like a Vlad Jr.
Certainly does. You have to pinch yourself. We've enjoyed it that much. We are truly privileged. Do hope you've enjoyed it as well. A massive thank to Ben on camera, Scott who helped out floor managing under what were very, very difficult circumstances at times. I hope you feel it was worth the effort. We've had an absolute ball. And a massive thanks to the boys back in the studio as well, sitting there so patiently. We hand you back to London. We'll be back next Sunday for more baseball. But from us here in San Francisco, from Eric, from David, from JC, from myself. Thanks, guys. Back to you.